Today we're diving deep into the world of forever foods. These are the pantry staples that can truly stand the test of time, some lasting years, others practically forever if you store them right. Think of this as your ultimate guide to stocking a pantry that can weather any storm. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, we've got honey. And no, not that corn syrup imposter they try to pass off in the plastic bear. I'm talking about the real deal, raw, unpasteurized honey. This liquid gold is a powerhouse both in flavor and longevity. Honey found in ancient Egyptian tombs is still technically edible. Its low moisture content and high acidity make it inhospitable to bacteria and mold. Keep a jar in your pantry, and you've got a natural first aid kit on hand as well. Next, we've got another pantry hero, sugar. Plain granulated sugar stored properly can last indefinitely. The key here is keeping moisture out. Store your sugar in an airtight container and consider adding a desiccant packet or even just a few dry rice grains to absorb any excess moisture. And remember, we're talking about plain white sugar here. Now let's talk about apple cider vinegar, but not just any apple cider vinegar. We want the good stuff, the kind with the mother. The high acidity of apple cider vinegar naturally preserves it, keeping it safe to use for years to come. Use it for salad dressings, marinades, or even as a natural cleaning agent. Real vanilla extract is an investment, but it's an investment worth making, especially when you consider that it lasts indefinitely. The alcohol acts as a natural preservative, so ditch that imitation stuff and treat yourself to the real deal. Your taste buds and your pantry will thank you. Alright folks, let's talk about another one of nature's sweeteners, pure maple syrup. Not the sugary corn syrup concoction, but the real, amber-hued goodness that comes from tapping maple trees. Like honey, real maple syrup has a naturally low water content, which helps prevent spoilage. Stored properly in a cool, dark place, it can last indefinitely. Pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, even a drizzle on roasted vegetables, the possibilities are endless. Next up, we've got a true pantry essential salt. This humble mineral is crucial for both flavor and food preservation, and guess what? It lasts forever. To maximize salt's shelf life, you need to keep it dry. For long-term storage, consider transferring your salt to airtight Mylar bags or glass jars. Don't underestimate the power of cornstarch. This pantry staple is a thickening agent extraordinaire. And the good news is, cornstarch has an incredibly long shelf life. To ensure your cornstarch stays fresh, repackage it into an airtight container and store it in a cool, dark and dry place. Your future self will thank you. For those who like to bake from scratch, stocking up on wheat berries is a smart move. These little grains are packed with nutrition, and when stored properly, can last for decades. Invest in some Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers. Imagine the satisfaction of baking fresh bread from wheat you've stored yourself. Soy sauce, that salty, savory, umami-rich condiment, is a staple in many cuisines. Thanks to its high salt content and fermentation process, soy sauce is naturally resistant to spoilage. While it may lose some of its potency over time, it's essentially good to go indefinitely. Just be sure to store your soy sauce in a cool, dark place. When it comes to long-term food storage, not all rice is created equal. White rice, with its outer husk removed, is the clear winner. Stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dry place, white rice can last for up to 30 years. So, for long-term storage, stick with white rice. Powdered gelatin desserts, like Jello, are a pantry staple for a reason. They're affordable, versatile, and surprisingly long-lasting. Unopened boxes of powdered gelatin can last for decades on your shelf, so stock up on your favorite flavors, and rest assured that you'll be able to whip up a jiggly treat even years down the line. Much like its apple cider cousin, white distilled vinegar is another pantry workhorse. It's a fantastic cleaning agent, a tangy addition to recipes, and it boasts an incredibly long shelf life. Thanks to its high acidity, white distilled vinegar can last for years, even decades, without going bad. Keep a bottle on hand for cleaning, cooking, and even as a natural weed killer. While not as nutritious as honey or maple syrup, corn syrup does have its uses in the kitchen. It's a common ingredient in candies, frostings, and other sweet treats. And the good news is corn syrup has an indefinite shelf life. Just be sure to store it in an airtight container to prevent it from crystallizing. For those who enjoy a tipple now and then, hard liquors like whiskey, vodka, and gin also happen to be incredibly shelf-stable. Stored properly in a cool, dark place, hard liquor can last for decades, even centuries, without losing its potency. Just remember to drink responsibly. Beans and lentils are nutritional powerhouses packed with protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. Dry beans, stored in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, can remain edible for up to 30 years. So stock up on your favorite varieties and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing you've got a source of plant-based protein that will stand the test of time. Powdered milk is a pantry staple for a reason. Fat-free powdered milk, when stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark place, can last indefinitely. So stock up on this pantry essential and rest assured that you'll always have milk on hand for baking, cooking, or just enjoying a cold glass. Instant coffee, tea, and cocoa are pantry staples for a reason. Stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, these beloved beverages can last for years, even decades, without losing their flavor or potency. So stock up on your favorite blends and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing you'll always have a hot drink on hand, no matter what. Baking soda is a true multitasker. It's a leavening agent, a cleaning powerhouse, and even a natural deodorizer. And the good news is, baking soda also happens to have an indefinite shelf life. Stored properly in an airtight container in a cool, dry place, it will retain its potency for years to come. Golden Reserve's Instant Bullion. Instant bouillon cubes or granules are a convenient way to add a burst of flavor to soups, stews, and sauces. And thanks to their high salt content, they also boast an incredibly long shelf life. Stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, bouillon can last for years without losing its flavor. Golden Goodness dried corn. Dried corn, whether it's whole kernels, polenta, or cornmeal, is a versatile pantry staple. It can be used in countless recipes, from hearty soups and stews to fluffy cornbread and tortillas. And the best part? Dried corn has an incredibly long shelf life. Stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, it can last for years without losing its flavor or texture. Chocolatey Goodness Pure Unsweetened Cocoa Powder. For the chocolate lovers out there, pure unsweetened cocoa powder is a pantry must-have. Stored properly in an airtight container in a cool, dark, and dry place, it can last for years without losing its rich flavor or antioxidant properties, so stock up on this pantry hero and satisfy your chocolate cravings for years to come. Potato flakes, those humble dehydrated potatoes, might not seem like much, but they're a pantry powerhouse. They're the secret to creamy mashed potatoes, fluffy biscuits, and even homemade bread. Potato flakes have an indefinite shelf life. Just be sure to store them in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place to protect them from moisture and pests. Oats, those hearty and versatile grains, are a breakfast staple for a reason. Stored properly in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, oats can last for up to 30 years. So stock up on this pantry essential and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing you've got a healthy breakfast option that will stand the test of time. Spices are the heart and soul of countless cuisines. They add depth, complexity, and a burst of flavor to our favorite dishes. The key is to keep them away from heat, light, and moisture. For long-term storage, consider transferring your spices to airtight containers and storing them in a cool, dark, and dry place. So there you have it, folks. 24 foods that can last you for years to come. Stocking your pantry with these forever foods is like having a culinary safety net. Just remember, proper storage is key to maximizing the shelf life of these pantry staples. Keep them in airtight containers in a cool, dark, and dry place, and be sure to practice proper stock rotation. If you're interested in learning more about pantry organization and long-term food storage, be sure to check out my other videos on the topic. Until next time, everybody be safe.